Hi, everybody. How you doing? Hey. So, quick question: anybody here like Power Rangers? 1, 2, maybe 3, 4, possibly. Okay, cool. Favorite Power Ranger ever?
Andros.
He knows the answer. Where were the rest of you on that? Come on. Why didn't you all chime in? You want to ask a question already? Okay, let's do this.
All right, Mr. Lee. Is there
Yeah.
anyone call you that?
Or Chris.
Or
That is
Chris.
my name. But yeah.
How was it working with JDF and the
Okay.
rest of the Red Rangers and Forever Red?
I think they all had the time of their lives getting to meet me. For them, I heard every one of them come up to me later on, one at a time, and they all said, "Chris, working with you has been a dream come true. Everybody else sucks, but you."
You're the best.
I wouldn't go that far. No, yeah,
You
maybe.
and JDF.
Maybe. Okay, that's fine.
Someone's gonna ask it, so you can.
Yes, somebody will. No, yeah, I had a fantastic time on it. It was a lot of fun. I didn't know most of them on there. I knew, obviously, in that episode, I already knew Selwyn and Sean and Danny, although Danny really wasn't on set. But everybody else was the first time I was meeting them, and I was like, wow, that's a lot of new people for me to meet all at once. Who the hell are you people? So, you keep raising your hand. What's up?
When you found out that you were going to be cast as a Power Ranger, what was your reaction to it?
Oh, God, no. That was literally my reaction to it. I grew up as a wee child of 15, I think. I think I was about 15 when Power Rangers came out. It was like 93 when it came out, so I think I was like 15. And in my neighborhood where I lived at the time, I lived in Virginia, and in my neighborhood there was quite a few kids that were a bit younger than me. We'll say 10, whatever. And at the time, I'm part Indian. I'm part Apache and Cherokee, and I had very long hair because apparently that's your legal obligation when you're an Indian, is that you have to have long hair at some point in your life. I don't know why, but it is. So as a young kid, I had very long hair. It was always in a ponytail, and every one of those damn little kids came up to me and all said, "You look like Tommy. You have hair like Tommy. Boy, you must really like Tommy." I had no idea who the hell Tommy was. I had no idea. I'd never seen the show. I did not know anything about it. I was just like, okay, who's Tommy? And they're like, you know, Tommy. He's the green one. And I'm like, I have no idea what the hell you're talking about. What does that mean? So at that point, I started thinking, man, screw Tommy, whoever he is. I have no idea. And that kind of influenced me to not really watch Power Rangers or anything like that as a kid. And then I had moved to Miami. I only lived there for a short while. I got the audition. My manager at the time, she said, "Hey, yeah, we got an audition for you. It's for Power Rangers." And I was like, nah, I don't. And she was like, "Go out for it. You won't book it." Of course you won't. So yeah. That's by the way, that's a little tip from me to all of you. If anybody in here is like an actor or anything like that, and there's a role that you really want to get, go in there with the mindset of, I don't want this. The more you look like you don't want the role, the more likely they are to hire you for it. It sounds dumb, but it is true. I swear, it is. So, yeah, that was it. As a kid, I did not really care too much for Power Rangers, so yeah, that was my initial reaction. I grew to love it very quickly. I loved working on the show. I loved working with the stuntmen. They beat the hell out of me every day, and it was great. It was wonderful. I had a lot of fun, and yeah, it was a great time in my life. So yeah, I grew to love it. So there we go. Anybody else got a question or anything? Like, who's your favorite Red Ranger from In Space? I can tell you who that is. Oh, you got a question? What's up?
So I know a lot of Power Ranger actors, there's usually a balance between their history as an actor and their history as a martial artist. So I was wondering where you fell on that spectrum.
Actually, yeah, before I did the show, I did study Taekwondo for a while. And Taekwondo is very helpful if you're actually going to do, fight scenes on TV or movies, things like that, because it's a lot of really big, like jumping, spinning kicks and stuff like that. Stuff that you wouldn't actually use in a real fight because you're going to get hurt if you do that. But yeah, on TV, oh God, it looks great. You're like the greatest thing ever. Oh man. On my season, of the 6 Rangers, 3 of us actually had studied martial arts before being on the show. The other 3 had no previous knowledge. I think I know I did, and Cell did. I think that Nemo did too, and then Patty Tracy and Raj. Oh my God!
Well, let me give you a hand.
Oh, I would love that. Oh, thank you so much, sir.
Oh, well, he can take my job.
Look, guys, it's Rita.
Oh, let me go get her. Hold on. Wait, I could call her. Shoot, I left my phone. I really can't. I could call her. I should go have somebody get my phone, and we'll call Barbara. How's that?
There we go.
Right?
It's
And
a date.
She can sit in for me.
It's a date.
Nice to see you. Yeah. Hey.
Please have a seat. So, you guys do know who this is, right? This is Kerrigan. He was, huh?
Goldar.
There, that's the one. That's the one.
Just you, huh? That's it? All right. Come on up.
You get front row treatment now.
Yeah. Now, usually these things loosen. This is months.
you
Who
wanna trade?
tightened this? Good.
Here, we'll trade,
God.
and then I'll work on this.
That's tough.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. This one is.
All right.
Oh, there we
Is
go.
this informal or what, man? What's going on? Hey, listen, 2 years ago, y'all had a hurricane, and half of you didn't make it. And I'm watching the news. I'm in California, and I'm watching it like, I don't know, last week, and I'm like, oh my God, this is not happening. Holy Jesus. Of course, I'm only thinking about me. God damn it. God. Anyway, so things seemingly worked out, but I guess there was a lot of, it's so weird, you know, you see this stuff on the news, and like anything, it's, you know, it's, you see pictures versus coming, you know, I came to Jacksonville first, I was there, and then we drove here, and realizing there's so much space that this affects, it's just like, wow, look at that place. Oh wow, look at that place. It's just different. Anyway, I'm glad you're all here. Hope, you know, I'm sure you guys know people that got messed up with it, and you know, anyway, I'm glad you're all right, and whoever you may know or not know, I hope they're all right. All right, guys, come
So
on.
there
I'm
we
not
go.
going to sit here. It's not a monologue.
Here we go.
Hey, Goldar,
Yeah.
how did it feel working with the original cast of MMPR?
Well, I mean, it was one of the best times of all of our lives.
Plus,
I
you got
mean,
your butt kicked.
Huh?
You got your butt kicked
Okay,
a lot.
where were you
Yeah,
sitting?
he was, I think he was outside of the room.
Get him
before.
out. Get him out.
Security, please. Now.
Get him out. Anybody have questions, feel free. I mean, this is
Yeah,
this
throw
is
'em
an
out.
informal deal here.
Yeah.
I mean, I got lots of stories. I could probably carry an hour.
What made you want to become Goldar? Like, was there a reason why you wanted to be the villain of the series?
What an interesting question. You know, I've had a lot of questions. That one kind of takes, that's one of the best ones yet. You know, as an actor, it's not a case of do you want, it's a case of auditioning and auditioning and auditioning and auditioning and more auditioning. And then, you know, sooner or later you land a role. Ironically, this one didn't work like that because we'd all done a lot of work together, meaning we were like a, dare I say it, like an acting troupe. You're watching this guy? Yeah, I'm watching
Watching?
him. You
Oh,
watch,
yeah.
yeah.
I'm his older brother.
Okay,
There you
well,
go.
we get.
Okay, you wanna invite him up? There's another mic. Anyway, we were kind of handpicked to play these roles. To answer your question, Tony Oliver was on a show, some of you might remember, some of you older folks, called Robotech in the mid-'80s. There you go. There you go. And I, that was kind of my start as a voiceover guy. And I wound up playing a role in the middle. There were 3 parts to Robotech, and I was in the middle part, Private Sean Phillips. And Tony Oliver was the lead in Robotech, and he played, I think, Rick Baker. Is that it? Right?
I think that's right.
Rick Baker.
I
Was it
believe-
Baker?
I think it's
Yeah.
Baker.
Anyway, Tony wound up changing hats. He became a producer, and Saban came into town. Nobody knew who he was or what his trip was, and you know, I think I'll reserve further comment on him. Right?
There you go.
I used to say bad things, but now I behave. Anyway, so Tony kind of handpicked myself and Barbara and Dave Mallow and Michael Sorage to play both, not Bulk and Skull, Squat and Babu. No, not Babu. Yeah. Dave played Babu. No. Lord Zed was also Babu. Did y'all know that?
Anybody
Yeah.
know that?
Yeah.
Lord Zed equals Babu.
Yeah. Yeah, he was
be
Babu
blowing
before he
your
was
minds.
Lord Zed. So anyway, we were all handpicked to do it, and we did not have any idea this thing was going to go. We went in and we did a little test, and we left. And figured, you know, that's the way it works as an actor. You go in, you do your thing, and you leave, and you move on with your day and your life and your week and all the rest of it. And Tony called and said, "Hey, this thing's sold," and we were off and running. And we knew we were into something big when we stopped the traffic on the 101 for a live show at Universal.
Oh yeah.
We realized, holy moly, what the heck is going on with this Power Rangers? We were a part of it. And here I am, 25 years later with a pop figure.
Come on, there you go, yeah. He's
You
a
know,
pop!
you know it's cool when you have an action figure, but when you get a pop, now we know that character's iconic.
There you go.
And it's selling out all over the country. So, there you go.
It's
Come
because
on
of
over
people
to-
like you that I don't get one.
That's right, there you go, right? Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Wait a minute. The sales are over at my table, okay? There's no sidebar stuff going on. So guys, Hasbro owns the franchise now, and they did not spend $500 million for no reason. And Goldar never died. I am alive and well. I never died on camera. Now that's a mistake that is in my favor, basically. Bottom line is I never dissolved or whatever the hell happened with everybody to dust or
That was
sand.
that was me.
Yeah, there you go. Were you responsible for that not happening?
Slightly.
Yeah. So anyway, bottom line is whatever they thought they were doing in the last movie, I'm afraid it's because I said a lot of bad things over the years about my friend Ian, and he said, "Well, I'll show you what we're going to do with Goldar." Well, now he's out of the picture. So Hasbro has it, and I'd like to believe that we have a script on the way that actually involves Goldar in a very serious manner, because I'm here alive and kicking. Yes, sir.
What did you think of the movie iteration of Goldar that they did?
I thought it was horrible. Am I not making? Maybe I wasn't clear.
I think, you're
Yeah,
pretty.
I think
yeah.
the movie was horrible. I finally saw it a couple months ago. I thought it was ghastly. I thought the script was ghastly. I thought the whole thing was pathetic. Anyway, what do I really think? Sorry, I guess. Yeah, it was okay. No, I thought it was terrible.
I saw that movie in the theaters and I thought, this movie should not be called Power Rangers. This movie should be called here's the Blue Ranger and the other guys. Because that's basically what it was.
It just wasn't very good, and
It was a lot. It was very Blue Ranger.
it costs so damn much money.
And it did piss me off what they did with Goldar.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
awful.
because I looked
It
at
was
that and I was like,
awful.
who's that?
I didn't like
This is Goldar. And I was like, that's...
You know, actually, the introduction of Goldar was actually maybe the coolest thing in the film, when it kind of like, oh, look at, he's coming out, and then it's like,
Yeah.
and now what? Nothing. Yeah, we're not going to do anything further. Great. Great. Oh, those kids were terrible. I hope none of you are related to them. Jesus. I mean, really, some bad. I mean, you know, it's not often you walk out of a movie today. Very rare that you walk out going, you know, you can attack the script, you can attack the directing, a lot of things, but usually the acting is up to par. Rarely do you go, ooh, ooh. And those are the kids that were picked. Shit, I better shut up. Maybe there's somebody here that's like, well, excuse me, I was in the movie, that's
Yeah.
why I'm here, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
He's right next to me here.
What's up, brother?
Hey Chris,
Yeah.
at the end of In Space, right?
Uh-huh.
Why'd you kill Zordon?
Why?
Yes.
I was bored as hell.
Yeah.
I needed something to do,
That's
and
my
there
boy.
was
That's my boy.
nobody else was
Nothing
going to
to
shut
do,
up
man.
fielding.
What else are you gonna do?
Nobody would shut up fielding. I was like, guys, I've had enough. Dave's got to go. Slice. That was it.
I like that.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah, I thought Dave had to go the minute he walked into the studio. No, I love him.
I love Dave. We all love
Feeling
Dave.
is cool.
Dave
He's
is-
such a
Dave is the
sweetheart.
greatest.
He's a really good guy.
He is. He's wonderful. I
One
love
of the
Dave.
one of the really good ones.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was not by choice that I ended up killing Zordon. It was because they said, well, in the script, you either kill one guy and you save everybody,
Or kill yourself.
or don't kill the one guy and then everybody dies. And I kind of thought, that's a pretty easy math
Yeah,
problem.
it's not tough.
No, kill one dude and save everybody, or don't kill the one dude and everybody dies. We'll go with killing the one dude. That's a lot
Plus,
easier.
you saved your own sister.
And I saved my own sister, and then I cried on her, and she came back to life, and I thought, why are we doing this? This is terrible. Don't do
Plus, you got to
that.
hug the,
Anybody who's a writer, if you're writing something and somebody's dying and then somebody cries on them and the tear brings them back to life, don't do that. That is terrible. Oh, I hate that.
That would be writer, non-writer. Stop writing.
Well, hold on, you were gonna ask a question first, so you go ahead, brother.
In lieu of that, did you know of any of the story or the story arc with the writing? Because they did that, and now I have a season.
So, did I know that, like it was
Well,
gonna...
that ending was going to happen because in hindsight, it kind of seems dumb to do that story arc, and they go, oh, we got more Power Rangers.
Well, when we got onto the show pretty early on, one of the second unit guys came up to us and said, "Okay, so just so you know, this is going to be the last season of Power Rangers." And we were like, "Oh, didn't know that. Okay, well, all right, go for broke then." And that's exactly what they did. They were like, screw it. You know what? We're already copying Star Wars. Let's copy the hell out of it and just go full on Star Wars. And that's what we did. And then everybody started loving it. And then I think 3 months later, they came back and they're like, by the way, that thing we said before about canceling the show, nah, you guys made way too much money. We're not doing that anymore.
It's just
So,
get rid of all the evil. Oh, by the way, we got more evil guys.
yeah. So, yeah, they had already had that storyline set up.
Yeah.
Where it was going to be that, he kills Zordon, and then that's the end of
He
it.
has no idea what he's talking about.
There we go. That's
It's a
usually
money.
the case.
He's just rambling.
That's what I do. But yeah, that storyline was already in place, and then once we got to the last one, and then he kills Zordon with the spiral saber, it's like, yeah, all the bad guys supposedly die or turn into good guys or whatever, except for a certain.
When did this all happen?
When did this happen?
What year was this?
98.
Wow,
Yeah.
98.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. This is my 20th year anniversary for my show. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I know, right? Thank you. Yeah, keep it coming. Keep it coming. I know, I'm fantastic. Thank you so much. Oh, you got to do one more?
Yeah.
Okay, what's up?
Did you have a crush on Ashley, the Yellow Ranger?
I kind of always felt that it made a little more sense for the characters for Andros and Cassie to be together. To be honest. Because she was a tough chick and he was psychotic.
But Ashley had heart, though.
Well, so the hell what? She wasn't a tough. She's a valley girl. Come on, man. She comes in and she actually says, "You're human," and it's like, shut up, stop, go away, monkey. So, no, I always kind of thought that they would have done Andros and Cassie, but I guess at that point they were like, well, we've already had the red and pink one together so many times, so screw it now, red and yellow. Why not? So that's what they did.
Yeah.
Whatever.
But now they messed up the series.
But now what?
They messed up the Power Ranger series.
Now they messed up the series?
Yes, because of Dino Charge and Ninja Steel. They're ripping off Dino Thunder and Ninja Storm.
Let's
My
make
God.
a call.
Yeah, that's enough of that.
Yeah.
You know, done. Hasbro, this stuff stops right now. Come on, that's it.
And now they're making another one. Dino Beast Morphers?
Dino Beast Morph, whatever.
No, Beast
the names are
Morphers
just going to get
actually.
longer and longer.
It's still running, right?
It's still running, sadly.
Oh, is
Wow.
it that? Is it?
It's
Not
bad.
bad.
Is it? That's
Super
too,
Sentai's messing it up.
that's too bad.
Super Sentai's messing it up?
Yes.
I'm saying this now as soon as Hasbro got it.
Oh no, I have
yeah.
great hopes for Hasbro.
I actually do, too.
No,
Yeah.
please don't do that.
No.
As of right now, they're
Plummeting.
Well, you know,
Well, I don't think they're concentrating closely on the show. I think they're really going to focus on a movie. I think they're going to make some really, really big. Look, guys, come on, hold on. Hasbro's Transformers, okay?
Yeah.
So let's give it a break. Okay?
and My Little Pony. It's a big franchise. It's a big
It is.
franchise.
It's huge.
My Little Pony.
No, they
yeah.
kind of know what they're doing.
Half of you are bronies and you know it. See, you know.
Yes, sir.
Really, they're focusing on the toys like we always have.
Okay.
Well,
get him
hey,
out of
that's a
here
good
too.
picture.
Get him out. Yeah, they are. I mean, look. The way I look at it, dude, I got a pop, and I'm 25 years old here. So, thank you very much, Hasbro, or whoever's responsible for that. Something is going on. The fact that Goldar is still alive and kicking, and 25 years down the line, and my pop is selling out all over the country. I can't get pops myself in my own town. I can't get them.
Wow.
So, I mean, that's a good thing. And you know, whatever Hasbro's doing, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, you're right. They're concentrating on the toys, but the toys are, ultimately only going to sell if there's attention paid, and there will be another big movie. I already know this. It's on good authority. I know from the peeps that know that a big movie is in the works. You're not going to be in it.
It's not going to be that good, man.
The second part for the remake, but it's gonna suck.
I like this guy.
I'm very likable.
Yeah. We go way back. All right.
Yeah, about 20 minutes ago.
I think it's more like 10.
Oh, okay. Oh, now we got a
Oh,
whole
look,
wave
the
of
hands
them.
are coming
All right, we'll
up.
start
There
over
we go.
here and then
There
we'll
we
move
go.
over. What's up, brother? Yeah.
I got a question.
Loud.
Yeah, scream it out.
Outside voice.
I got a question. What is your favorite season? Was it Samurai or Ninja Steel?
What's your favorite season, either Samurai or Ninja Steel? So, literally, those are the only two choices you're giving me? 'Cause my answer is always going to be Power Rangers in Space, duh. Why the hell would I not say that? Ninja Steel or Samurai? Who the hell was in Samurai? Do I know anybody that was in Samurai?
No.
Do I know anybody from Samurai? Ninja Steel is Peter, right? Peter wins. Screw it. I know
Yeah,
Peter.
Just go with it. Let's
Yeah.
go.
Yeah, Ninja Steel
right
wins.
On. Yeah,
Yeah.
Ninja.
I know Peter.
I'm with him.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
it's by far the
I'll be
best
here all
experience, huh?
weekend. Super. Lost Galaxy.
Thank you.
Hey!
Oh, Najee is
Magna
Samurai?
Defender. Magna
Screw it,
Defender.
I already said Peter. Whatever.
You
Okay,
know,
um,
I'm noticing after doing these things for years, 7 out of 10 people don't realize I was Magna Defender.
What?
Yeah. See, there you go. Perfect.
Wow.
Yeah,
That was like the right
and I know
response.
that's well, I paid these guys. That was
He's
bit-
a plant!
It was a little big, buddy. We want to come not quite so big. This time.
He Tim Allen to that shit.
But he's good, isn't he?
He's
I mean, he's
dead
gonna work
on.
out. Yeah.
Dead on.
Yeah, I'm replacing him tomorrow.
Nice.
Yeah, that Magna Defender was, wow, so well written. So well written. What a wonderful role that was for a voiceover actor. That was really, really good. I watched it about 2 years ago. I'd never seen it. I decided I'm going to take a look at this, see if it's as good as I thought it was. You know, it's bad when you're sitting on your couch all alone crying at your own performance. Now that's messed up. That's not. See, yep, true. I'm sitting there crying at the end of the damn thing. That's pathetic.
No, that's
no,
beautiful.
it's sad. It was really sad.
Beautifully sad.
Yeah. Okay. There were other questions.
Yeah.
Now the hands have gone down.
Yeah, you in the blue first. Yeah. Say again?
I have a question for both of y'all. Same question for both of y'all.
Okay, same question for both of us.
Really in depth. Okay?
Really? You know, why don't you come over here and ask us? It's either that or I'm gonna hand you the mic because
They do that. We do that.
It's a really in-depth question. So, out of all of the seasons of Power Rangers, okay, who was
Andros is the best.
the hottest female Power Ranger out of all?
That's
the
not a bad question.
That's
I
fine.
mean,
Yeah. Who's the okay of all the seasons
Yeah,
of
watch
Power
it.
Rangers?
You watch it. We're in the Me Too syndrome, so be careful. Nothing. You can't. Gotta watch it. Be very careful here.
Okay, but
Very,
the question was,
very careful.
in all of the Power Ranger seasons, who do we find
To be
the
most attractive?
most attractive, strong-willed,
Yeah. Yeah.
Cassie.
the
That we
hottest?
never looked at or paid any attention to.
Never thought about it, ever at
never
all.
got anywhere near her.
Power Ranger
No,
female.
no, right,
Did
very
not even
well.
think about it.
Yeah,
Ever. Nakia, done.
I'm gonna
I don't have
have
to
to
think
say
about it.
because again I was four seasons with the original, and Amy certainly was just such a doll, and she was sweet at the time. I don't know how she is these days, but
Well,
her.
Here's your own show.
Yeah.
Flashpoint.
Anyway, but then I got to know, I think 2 or 3 Power Morphicons. No, 4 years. I'm Yellow Ranger. Now I can't say her damn name. I'm friends with her. Isn't that awful? Wild Force Yellow Ranger.
Oh, Allison. Yeah.
Allison and I became very friendly, and she's so beautiful.
Sure.
Yeah.
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 I'm still going with Nakia. So.
Oh, and one of the evil ones. One of the evil
You mean the
girls
Psycho Rangers?
that does.
Bad guys.
One of the bad
Melody.
girls. Oh God, there's one that's just. Oh, sorry.
Is it Melody?
I don't
That's
know.
my sister,
I don't
dude.
recall.
It's my sister, dude. But before we go to yours, though, you had a question, right? Superman.
Yeah, so since
Here we
you
go.
had so many spins off, how does it feel to have the original battle suit, I don't know what to call it.
How does it feel to have the original
I
Battleizer?
feel like the original Ranger start that off. Like everyone else just copied it.
Has that gotten me a pop yet? Then screw it.
You got one. You're like the best one.
That's an excellent
Excuse
question.
me. Okay, you are so fired. No, you're fired. Okay. Excuse me. I need.
Coupon should have been here for this.
God love him. Oh, good.
Yeah.
Great. No, it's okay. Let him stay. Let him stay.
No, she's gotta go find
she's-
Coupon because he's really.
Hey,
he's
what?
really
Yeah,
busy.
what happened to the? We have a third guy.
Yeah,
there, right?
Coupon is supposed to
Lucas.
be here, but yeah. Michael.
Yeah,
He's
Michael.
supposed to be here,
I call him
but
Lucas.
okay.
Show.
Excuse me, nobody released you.
You're not allowed to go.
Okay.
Okay, we're good. Yeah. You know where my table is, right?
This is
Yeah.
like
No, come find mine first.
I'm,
two-parter for Chris and Goldar.
Okay.
I mean, this is for Chris.
Well, his name is
first.
okay,
Kerrigan.
that's all right. Go
Okay.
and go. You know,
This is,
whatever you want.
For Chris.
Okay.
And the 10th Power in Lost Galaxy, how did it feel to work with the cast for Lost Galaxy?
How did it feel to work when I worked with all the guys from Lost Galaxy?
Yes.
I hate them all.
What?
They're the worst.
What about TJ?
I love them. They're great. I worked with the. I would constantly be working out on the set, even when my season finished. I would be working out with the stuntmen because I worked so closely with them, and I actually would come in and do the physical training with the stuntmen while they were still training the new guys.
Yeah.
And I got to know them all one by one, and I loved them all. They were all really, really cool. And Slavin and I became like really close friends to the point where we would go out.
We don't want to hear all the details.
Yes, you do. No, we would actually go out like on the weekend, and we would go singing together in karaoke bars, and get very, very hammered. And I came to find out that that son of a bitch was really good at singing Elvis songs, and he took that from me. So I couldn't do Elvis singing anymore because he was so good at it. He was
So
he just took it. He
was
just like
over.
yeah, he just came in and he was
Over.
like, and I was just like, shut up,
Wow.
shut up, Danny.
You were doing it first.
I was doing it, and then he just
And
stole
he
it.
sat, and you, wow.
I kind of feel violated.
I've never been
I
retired.
need a hug.
I've never been retired to that degree. That's rough. And you're still feeling that. I can see it.
It's an open wound.
Okay.
Okay,
It never
Goldar,
heals.
This is from my brother.
All right, brother.
Where's
Where are the hot dogs? Wow.
I can go get you one.
No, that's all right. I'll have my people handle that.
What happened to Tommy after the fourth season of
Who the hell knows?
Thank you. There's a great answer.
Yeah, screw Tommy.
Thank you. That's an even better answer.
How am I doing so far?
We are so here.
Get another hot dog. What's up? Hold on. Excuse me. You, go ahead.
Scream it out.
On a change of topic.
Yes, please.
OP character out of the entire series to date in American Dog.
Who is the most overpowered character in all?
To date in American Dog. That's
Um,
aired and or going.
Are you talking only good guys or bad guys, or who are you talking?
Everybody's on the chopping block.
Anybody.
What's the question exactly?
Who do you think?
Overpowered, overrated.
Who's the most powerful?
Overdrawn, somebody just like is plot armor, BS.
Oh, you're saying basically with the comic, all of the rage with comic book heroes, and what is the most overwrought that is not happening at all?
Well,
Is that right?
he wants to know.
They are like, say, Darth Vader versus an Imperial Stormtrooper, for example, in terms of power scale.
Okay, so yeah, he's saying like the most overrated. What? Who was that?
That was coming.
What?
But my personal pick is Doctor Who. Was he funny? Absolutely. Was it a great villain for the movie? Absolutely. So I think he's OP and kind of ridiculous? Yes, but that's the part of the draw that made him funny.
Well, it sounds like you've got it pretty well dialed in, so I'm
Yeah.
going to leave it with you. I can't answer that. I don't know. I don't have a good answer. I should lie. I should do what he did. I don't know.
There you go.
I don't know. No. I mean, you're getting in now to, you're getting into Hollywood, you're getting into producers, you're getting into writers, you're getting into what's happening and what's not happening and why, and it gets into deep psychology and, who's overrated, who's not rated. I mean, I think, more interesting, dare I say, is who's the most underrated, finest actor out there. How's that?
That's a good one. That's a good one.
I think there. God love him. He'll be here all weekend.
Well, he is Red Ranger, so he's got to have that comment.
He's got something going on, right?
It's something. It's
Red,
something.
red is red.
Red is red.
I think that actor Tom Hardy. See, look, you don't even really know who he is, and I think he's probably one of the finest actors that we have today.
He is
He was
Venom.
here like 2 weekends ago.
He was here. You're kidding.
Yeah, we got. He did a pre-screening with Venom with.
Nice. Venom was awesome.
Wow, I haven't seen it. You know,
It's
I
awesome.
went and saw
That's
Stars
spoilers.
Born, and everyone's going, no, you gotta go see Venom.
Venom is good. Yeah, Venom.
But Hardy is, he's a hell of an actor, and you know, he's just a little underrated, I think.
Yeah.
But anyway, okay.
Tom Hardy, best Power Ranger ever.
Yeah, it's good. Hey, oh, I got a fun one. Now it doesn't play very well, but you'll enjoy it.
Sure.
They
Let's do
might.
this. Hey.
I'm recording one day before the Power Rangers with an actor. One of we were all passing ships on the one hand. Some of us were better friends and good friends, and some of us hung out, and some of us didn't. And this particular guy I'm going to share this story about was, he came and went, and actually he did do some Power Rangers stuff. One day he says, oh God, rarely did we ever record together. Meaning, it was all, you got the script in front of you, you got a director, and for the most part, nobody's there except the two of you. Sometimes, like my lines, Barbara has already recorded, Rita, or not, and I hear her in my headphones when I do my line, or she hasn't recorded, and I see in the script what her line is, and then I respond to it. But I'm alone. We call it single tracking. Well, there's one particular day, two of us were recording whatever the show was, and he's like looking at his watch. He's like, I gotta get out of here. I gotta, Jesus Christ. I said, Brian, for God's sake, what? And he says, I got an audition. I said, Brian,
I know.
For God's sake, why don't you let go of the on-camera dream? It's over, dude, okay? What are you, 35, for God's sake? I mean, come on, give me a break.
Practically dead.
Yeah. Right?
Practically
This is a
dead.
real story, dude.
Oh, I know, because I've heard it all from
You
Scott
heard it
Page.
from me. Okay,
Well, yeah,
and
from
Scott, right?
Page, yeah.
And, I'm like, Jesus, God, relax with your freaking audition. Well, this was before he got Malcolm in the Middle. And clearly before Breaking Bad.
What the heck?
And Bryan Cranston and Kerrigan and that's what I had to say to Brian. Oh, shut up. Jesus Christ, with your audition. Your on-camera audition. Really? Well, I asked a buddy that did a lot of directing. I don't think you probably ever met Mike Reynolds.
Yes.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
You met Mike.
Yeah.
Well, I do the best impression of Mike
Yes.
of anybody.
Yes.
And Mike's old now, really, really old.
Yeah.
And he's in failing health. Hey,
He's very nice.
I'm
Don't worry
talking,
about it. Don't
okay?
worry. He's very
When
nice.
I talk, you listen, all right? And I talked to Mike a couple, 3-4 years ago, I guess, on the phone, one of those, are you alive? And I said, do you ever talk to Brian anymore? Do you ever talk to Brian? And actually, Brian and I were going to do a movie together. Yeah, you don't know that. Yeah, 3 of us. Dan Shore, who had a good career, and it failed, it burned out, and Kerrigan and Brian. And I said to Bob Barron was writer and director on not Power Rangers. What's the other thing I did? Anyway, back in the 80s. And I said to Bob, do we have to use Brian? He's so boring. Wow. Wow. Why does Brian have to be in the movie? And Barron was going to direct it, and Reynolds was writing, and Joe Cranston, Brian's dad, was the producer, and we were going to make one of these little films, $1 million, $500,000 film, and in the desert. You know, I don't even remember the script very well. Anyway, I say to Reynolds the other day, or so many years ago on the phone, do you ever talk to Brian anymore? And he goes, oh, Jesus Christ, no. No, he's breathing rarefied air now.
There you go. Hell yeah.
Oh, no. No, he's, yeah. So I called Brian wrong.
Yep.
I called Bruce Springsteen right, though.
There you go.
In 78, I said, this guy's going to be the biggest rock and roller that ever happened. I hit that one right.
So for bonus points, what was Bryan Cranston, what was the name of one of the characters he played on Power Rangers? Anybody? Does anybody know?
Do you know?
I do know. Well, I know, yeah, I do know. You know? You're close. I think that.
Wow.
I think it was that. Who knows? Does anybody else know? Anybody else have an idea? It was like, I thought it was like Lizard Wizard or something like that. It was something like that, though.
Wow, he
But
actually
you got bonus points.
he did a lot of stuff in the
Yeah.
80s. I mean, he came in and, you know, he was just trying to make a living like we all were. And anyway, boy, wow, he's one of those guys that just, he hit late, and boy, did he hit. And he's a good actor. I was wrong. I mean, I always thought he was, I really thought he was kind of like, he was always, well, obviously he was underplaying things at the time, and he perfected it to a fault. And, you know, I mean, I can never watch Breaking Bad like all you. I love Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
But I couldn't help but going, God, you're good. Damn.
What about Drive? Drive too.
Yeah.
He was fantastic.
Oh no, he was. I missed the call on him. I mean, he was whatever he was doing behind the microphone. I don't know if it was because he didn't really care, or he was probably better than I realized.
There we go.
But anyway,
Well, let's take a question from Spider-Man here. He's my favorite superhero. What's that? Can you want to touch the helmet? Sure, you can do that.
There you go.
Thank you, honey. There you go. Don't worry, the helmet will come to you. Just
that's sweet.
please don't throw it. I mean,
How hard is it?
yeah, right. What does it take to break this? Let me try.
Pass it over to him. He can probably handle that.
I got it. So what you got, brother?
Didn't Bryan Cranston play in that Belko experiment movie? That weird movie about the like killing and stuff?
I have no idea.
Maybe.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I looked it up.
All you got to do is, like you said, you looked it up.
Yeah.
And you did.
Look it
So,
up.
there
I have
you
no
have it.
idea. I got nothing.
Did you show up in that YouTube video with Bruno and Mia?
Did I?
Yeah.
Yes. Well, I showed up in a couple of videos with Bruno and Mia, yeah.
And
By the way, Mia is much better to work with than Bruno. He's
Why?
such a prima donna.
Why?
He's such a prima donna.
But
I
he
love
always
him.
calls you Andros.
He does.
You know, it's a
He
prima
does that to piss
donna.
me off.
He's saying he's a prima donna. That's just a nice way of saying he's a real, you know what.
That's
And I'll
pretty
leave
much
that
what I'm saying.
alone.
There
Yeah.
it is.
Nice way of saying it, though.
Thank you.
Oh, he's such a prima donna.
Thank you.
Oh my God.
I am quite the wordsmith.
Yes, you're.
You had a question though? What's up, brother?
Yes. So I was curious, since now we know your strong history with Bryan Cranston and your strong opinions on the Power Rangers 2017 film.
Oh, me. I guess he's talking to me.
Yeah, I worked a lot with Brian.
I'm curious for Kerrigan.
Yeah.
How does that interplay? Your interaction with Bryan Cranston and your opinions on the Power Rangers film?
Oh yeah, that's good. He's
Oh,
Zordon.
you know, that's a good, interesting question.
Yeah.
Interesting question. Let me tell you how that worked out for him. Can you say a check?
There you go. There you go.
A really big check.
Yeah.
And man, you talk about having the last laugh. Not me, him.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that he was Zordon and was back there making $17 an hour in a non-union show. And now he's Zordon in the big movie. And oh, wow, I would say he was probably the highest paid actor in the whole movie.
Yeah.
By far.
Yeah.
No question. No, he had the last laugh with that.
At some point in the future, I'm going
question.
to kill Bryan Cranston now.
Why?
Because I kill Zordon. That's what I do. That's my job.
You know what?
Come
Let's
on.
handle that. Let's get that handled. You know what? I'm going to call him. Where's my phone?
Yeah. Let's get Brian on the phone right now.
All right, you guys. Anything else?
Oh, we got one more over here real quick. What's up? Shout it out.
I got one more question. Have you ever seen season finale of Power Rangers before?
Has either of us ever seen the season finale for which one? Super Mega Force. You're talking about the one where there was like 900 Power Rangers all together and some guy, I don't know, I think his name was Donnie or something like that. He led the whole group, some shit like that.
I think you got this one handled.
Have I seen it? Yeah. What about it? Uh-huh.
Because I never ever stopped watching within over 100 Power Ranger teams.
Sure, yeah, there was a lot of Power Rangers in that one. Although, you didn't see everybody take the helmets off, did you? No, didn't see everybody take the helmets off. Why was that?
That's suspect.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, Melody was there, and so was...
Let's
Selma
get one more
and-
question.
Any more? Come on, one more question. Here we go. One more, let's hear it.
What's your favorite episode that you were in?
Favorite episode that you were in?
You
Damn.
go.
My favorite episode that I was in was all the ones that I was in. Those were the best.
How can you top that?
Can't.
Following that is a bitch. Anytime I got to beat up Jason Davis,
Damn, that really did top it, though. That was the
kind of
one.
did. I mean, I didn't top, but I matched, right?
Oh, no, I think you beat me.
Jason David thing. Yeah, oh look, I got Jason's autograph. So what? Yeah.
All right, let me modify it a little bit because I think I got it up wrong. What was the favorite episode that you were in on the production side? What were your favorite one to make?
What was your favorite episode to make?
Like I said, every time I was
Yeah.
kicking Jason David Frank's ass. What part didn't you get?
Yes, and I am not changing mine either because, yes, anytime that I'm on screen,
That's
it's
it.
just gold.
We'll be here all weekend.
There you
Thank
go.
you guys.